Hey friends, I'm back, and today's video is going to be my March TBR. So again, just to reiterate, I have set a goal for myself for 3 books every single month because I'm expecting my first child and I have no idea what our schedule is going to be like, if I'm even going to get a lot of reading done. So I basically just set it to a really low amount that I think is definitely doable, but obviously if I can accomplish more, the better. So this month I'm actually trying to be a little bit more proactive and get some reading done a little bit ahead of time. These last few months I've been able to get like at least 5 books in, so I'm hoping I can squeeze another 5 in before the birth of the baby and then kind of go from there. So I definitely have an ambitious TBR for myself, so I'm just going to go ahead and start sharing them with you guys, and I'll let you know which ones I definitely want to get to, and then there's one book that's like going to be my bonus book, which will be the 5th book. If I can get to it, great. If not, then it's gonna have to go back onto the TBR shelf. But anyways, this is the time of year with spring coming that I like to do some lighter women's fiction, some romance reads, different things like that, and I have at least 2 books that I think are gonna do just that. And the first one is Hurricane Season. This is by Lauren K. Denton. She also wrote The Hideaway, which I loved. Reviewed it a couple times here on my channel, so if you guys definitely want to look into that, definitely use the search bar. You can find a couple of videos of that. Otherwise, I would just say buy it. You hopefully will love it as much as I did. But I was so thrilled when she had released the title of her 2nd book and that it was coming out, and I was so lucky to get an advance copy. This comes out on April 3rd, so you guys will be able to get your hands on it very soon, and I'm just really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be the perfect spring read. It's always based in the South, and I just love these charming little Southern reads that Lauren has started to write. So I'm definitely a huge fan. Looking forward to it. Again, cover is beautiful as well, so this is always one that I love to have on my shelf because her covers are so beautiful and the stories are so amazing. The characters are realistic. The romance love story feels real as well. It's not something that feels super pressured or structured or anything like that. So again, I'm really looking forward to diving into something a little more lighthearted and whatnot. But I haven't read a lot into these books. I'm trying to just go in without knowing a ton of information about them. The other book that comes out on April 3rd is going to be Before I Let You Go by Kelly Rimmer. This is my current read, and actually this one might not have as much the typical kind of love story, but I think it's going to revolve a lot around family and the different love dynamics that you have within that family. I do think it's going to be a little bit harder to read, and so far it is definitely off to that's kind of a slow, sad start because these sisters haven't spoken in 2 years. One of them is addicted to drugs and is pregnant, and the other one is a doctor, and she has to help her kind of get this baby into this world and figure out how things are going to go after that. And so it's obviously being pregnant, it's a little bit tougher to read about and different things like that, but I think it's one that I'm really going to end up loving. I love those family kind of dynamic reads, and so I think this is going to be one that's right up there. It's also got a beautiful cover, has deckled pages, so if you guys are looking for something along those lines, definitely pick this one up. The next one on my TBR is a YA read. It is called Secret Keeper. This is by Jane L.V. Harris. This is book 2 in the Riven series. I believe that's what it's called, the Riven series. But the first book is called Riven. It is a really great it plays on a lot of different things, honestly. So it takes place in the real world, but then we have a main character who you kind of start to see into some of her fantasies, and those fantasies start to creep into her real world. So then you have this magical kind of element to it. There are fairies and different things happening. She is kind of whisked away with her siblings who kind of grew up with these stories and now they're living in them. So it's definitely a really great concept. It played out really well. I enjoyed the first one and just look forward to kind of continuing on because I think this series is going to continue to get stronger and stronger now that that world and that kind of foundation is built. So I'm really looking forward to it. Again, YAs for me have been tricky this year. I've probably only read one every month and ended up liking them. It's just for some reason I haven't been pulling them up as often. So this is one that I'm excited to read. I think it's going to definitely hold a high ground for the YA genre, and so I'm just looking forward to diving into this. Also, cover again is super beautiful. The author is so amazingly sweet, and so if you guys haven't been following her there, you definitely should as well. And pick up Riven, and there's going to be one more book in this series, so looking forward to kind of rounding rounding this out and kind of seeing how that goes. Coming out on March 24th is a collection of poetry called A Dose of Reality by Ryan Manley. I was approached by the author to read and review this, and so this is very much so in a like, if you guys like Rupi Kaur, kind of that modern poetry kind of feel, this is definitely up there. I'm pretty sure that this one will be read in a binge session where I just sit down and read it, probably on like a Sunday morning, and hopefully I have snow or I can just curl up by the fire or something and just kind of devour it, even though I like to try to break my poetry collections up so I can have just a little bit at a time and really just soak it all in and enjoy it. However, I did read the first like 1 or 2 little poems and really liked the style of it, so I think this is going to be one that once I get going I probably won't put down, which tends to be the case with Rupi Kaur as well. So looking forward to reading that one. Now, the last book that I really want to get through during the month of March is also my Buddy Read for the month, and I just announced that yesterday on my Bookstagram account, so if you guys aren't following, definitely click down below. You can follow me there. I will also pop a photo in of what that looks like so you can go directly to that photo and find all the information. It has everything there that you guys will need, and the book is The Queen of Hearts by Kimmery Martin. And again, this is one that I've been hearing so many amazing things about, and honestly, I don't know anything about this other than I loved the cover. Several people recommended it to me. Loads of my friends read it and said how amazing it was. And then the fact that it revolves around kind of the medical world and it's being compared to like a Grey's Anatomy, which I absolutely love. So of course I'm gonna pick this up and read it, and there's a lot of you guys that actually follow me on either here and Bookstagram that said you guys were going to jump in and join, and I'm loving seeing the like traction for this Buddy Reads build and everybody's excitement, especially for this one. It seems like a lot of us haven't read it yet, so I'm just so excited to share with you guys. So again, all the information for the Buddy Read is going to be on my Bookstagram account. It'll be down below so you guys can check that out, and I hope you'll join us. And then last book on my TBR is like kind of my bonus book. It's the 5th book, so if I can again get to it, great. If not, no big deal. But it is The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. This was my book of the month pick last month, and I didn't read it. Like I said, I had picked up The Great Alone as like my kind of an extra add-on, but I'd already read it, so this is one that I haven't read, and I'm really bad about getting my book of the month and then I hang on to them and I don't read them for like ever down the road. I still have quite a few on my TBR shelf that I haven't read from months ago, so I'm trying to get better about that. Like if I actually order a book of the month, that I need to read it that month. So yeah, this was last month, so I definitely didn't do that, but I'm hoping to get to it this month so I don't fall so far behind on my book of the month. But yeah, this one sounds really intriguing too, and I can't remember totally how this goes, but something about a girl that was in, I don't know if it was like a mental hospital or how that worked out. What is it now? Okay, so it says it's in 1950. There's a place for the girls whom no one wants, the troublemakers, the illegitimate, the too smart for their own good, and it's called Idlewild Hall. And in the small town where it's located, there are rumors that this boarding school is haunted. 4 roommates bond over their whispered fears, their budding friendship blossoming until one of them mysteriously disappears. So, and then I think you flash forward and you get like her sister somewhere down the line kind of trying to solve this. It sounds really interesting. The whole paranormal aspect, you know, totally has me intrigued. And yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to adding this one, which is great because I don't really have like a suspenseful kind of mystery thriller read, and this is going to fill that gap. So I think every single month I've had so far has been pretty well-rounded versus like YA versus women's fiction with some thrillers, different things like that, some fantasy in there. So I think everything has been so amazing. I've really been enjoying all my reads during this year. So yeah, that's the list. If you guys have any in common or you're going to join the Buddy Read, I would love, love, love to know. So please comment below and let me know. Other than that, I will see you guys in some upcoming videos. Be sure to subscribe and like, and I will see you soon. Bye.